Welcome everyone. Hi, this is Sandra, and I'm the admin for the I Do in the Caribbean Facebook group. And I just want to say welcome to all the new members that have joined the Facebook group. And if you're watching this via YouTube, thanks for subscribing to my YouTube channel and for also coming and watching this video. And this video is all about trying to help couples who are thinking of having a destination wedding in the Caribbean or Mexico, just giving them information on helping them how to start planning their destination wedding. So this is really for anyone who's looking to do a wedding in a destination wedding. And this group is, the reason why I created this group is to give insights of things that I've learned since I've had my destination wedding and being a travel specialist specialized in destination wedding, just sharing my insight with you that can help you along the way to plan your own destination wedding. So definitely what I tell most of my couple, you can plan your wedding on your own. It's just, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of research. It does take a lot of time. You have to put in there to try to organize the wedding, trying to find the right resort, picking the right date, and then organizing all your guests to get to your wedding location. So it is a task and it can be done. But for me, I try to help my couples, but if they hire me or want me to help them, my job is to alleviate some of those stress off them and for me to do all that research and take the time away from them. So I spend all the time doing all that work for them so they can spend more time on actually planning the actual wedding, because most time it's not the wedding planning part that is the stress. Is trying to get everyone organized and getting them to the destination that is most of the stressful stuff. So this is what I am here to talk about today. And really the big topic I wanted to discuss today is just, if you haven't started planning your destination wedding yet, what do you need to think about if you're planning a wedding later on in the year or in 2023? Of course, a lot of things are changing and that could derail your wedding plan. So I think just being aware of these things can help you and for you to stay on track and for you to have that wedding of your dreams. So as I said, this is just to give you some information on doing that. So as I said before, I'm the admin for the I Do in the Caribbean Facebook group. So if you have any questions while in this group, just DM me, send me a message, and I'll be more than happy to help you. I mean, the whole idea is for me to help you, or if I have information or if you have questions, for you to just ask those questions. It doesn't cost anything to ask. No question is stupid. You're doing this for the first time, so you're definitely going to have questions, not knowing where to start, what resort is going to be the best resort for you, what type of wedding package should you be looking at. So these are things that I have information on because I've done a lot of weddings, and I have a wedding. I have wedding packages for various resorts, so I kind of know how they work. So if you have specific information on anything, please feel free to ask me, because I'm here to help. I'm not, I'm not trying to hold information in. If you have specific information, please reach out to me and I'll be more than happy to help you. But if you need help planning your wedding, I also do destination wedding planning. So if you want to hire me to help you plan your wedding, I'm available for that also. A lot of people here, if you want to do it yourself, you can do it yourself. Also, if you want to plan your honeymoon, I can help you with your honeymoon also. So I'm here to help in any capacity, whether it's just answering questions or whether it's just helping you if you need help. The challenges of having a destination wedding. I mean, based on what's going on, the current economic condition is, to me, can have an impact on your wedding, because right now things are getting more expensive. I'm making less and you're spending more. So do you have that money in your budget if you want to attend somebody's destination wedding? Or if you're planning your wedding yourself, will you have enough money to have that wedding of your dreams if things are costing more? And what I mean by things are costing more, if you go to a certain location, if you want fresh flowers, those things sometimes have to be imported in, and it's going to cost more because importation taxes have gone up because of the demand and then the limited amount of resources. So think about, if you want certain things, because resources are lower, it's going to cost you more to get them. So these are the things you need to think about. Lower COVID case. This is a plus and it's a minus also, because having lower COVID case, because right now the pandemic to me is over. We're in an endemic, as they call it. We're at the end part of the COVID pandemic. So right now people are feeling much freer. They want to travel. They've been cooped up for more than 2 years. So yeah, that is positive, but also it's a negative because people are going away on vacation. So you plan a destination wedding, it could mean that the resort you want is booked up if you don't plan early enough. So, it can be positive and it can be also negative, mean people want to travel. Also, a lot of the travel protocols have gone away. Like going to Mexico, you don't need any COVID tests. You don't need any testing to go there. DR, you don't need testing. I think Grenada just took away their testing. You don't need testing to go there. St. Lucia, I think you don't need testing either. Jamaica, you still need to take a PCR test 24 hours before or 3 days before you go to Jamaica. So some countries still require you to do a COVID test, but that's slowly going away. And the more relaxed these protocols are, the more people want to travel. So that could just have an impact on you finding that resort to have your wedding and having rooms available there because people are traveling more than ever this year into next year. So, that's a good thing, as I said, and it's a bad thing that you can travel now because the protocols are lower, but a lot more people are travel. So that could have an impact on you planning your wedding. As I said, people want to travel. So people want to travel, not for destination wedding, but just for family vacation. So that can impact your plans for your destination wedding. The higher gas prices, with what's going on, gas, like, I call for an oil delivery for myself and it's like more than almost doubled because oil prices up. So that means flights to and from different destinations are up. So that can impact your wedding. I don't know how long that's going to last, but that could have an effect on can people actually afford to come to your wedding? Because if the resort price is higher, if the airfare is higher, can they really afford to come to your wedding? And then the war in Ukraine, it's sad to say, but that's going on. We don't know when that's going to end. The impact it's going to have throughout the world. I mean, they're one of the highest producers of wheat. And if they can't produce wheat, then everything's going to go up in price. So we don't know what impact would be, if there's going to be any impact on travel, but these are things that are of concern, or they're challenges that we need to think about when we're planning our destination wedding. So you know these things, it's in the back of your head when you start planning. So planning your destination wedding, the first thing I normally tell couples is you need to have a realistic budget. If you don't have a realistic budget, you probably won't be able to afford the wedding that you want. So you really need to understand what are the inputs in me organizing my wedding. And the first thing you need to do is to understand what's your budget for your resort. If you're going to have a destination wedding, most likely you're going to stay at the resort. How long you're going to stay there, how much money you want to budget towards just the resort only, because obviously that doesn't include the wedding. Also the airfare, how much does it cost for you to and your spouse or your partner to get to that location to have your wedding? Also, are you going to be paying for other members of your family? Because that will determine how much money you need in your budget to pay for rooms for other people, airfare for other people. And then the wedding package. How many people are you inviting to your wedding? Because each wedding package is different for different resort. Some start at 20 persons, some might start at 10, and then it goes up by $80 to $100 per person. So that's something you need to be aware of. And then the wedding extra. Most wedding package just includes information or things just to have your wedding, like your ceremony, your cocktail, your reception. And those are just the food and I would say basic setup. But if you're looking to do, not say over the top wedding, but if you want to do enhancement, like, have fresh flowers, have decor, upgrade your chairs, have videography, photography, have a DJ, have a dance floor, those are wedding extras. They're not included in most wedding packages. You need to be aware of what those costs are so you can definitely budget for this wedding. And the next thing is wedding attire. People, you can't forget that, because if you're getting married, you want a nice dress, it runs $1,000 to wherever, depending on what your budget, and the cost just to get all your wedding attire that you need for the wedding packed and paid for and take to your destination. So these are just a few things that I think you need to jot down first to see, all right, what budget do I have? Is it a $10,000 wedding or is it a $20,000 wedding? And, weddings now, destination weddings are not cheap. They definitely will be a lot cheaper than a domestic wedding, but they're definitely not cheap, and they're not all free. I mean, you can have a free wedding, but if you want the enhancement, you have to pay for that. So there is free wedding, but it's going to be a basic wedding. If you want to enhance that, you have to have money in your budget for that. So definitely that's something I think you should start with. And then picking the date. So you're getting married, what date would be best for you? If you're not setting a particular date, I would say try to pick a date like fall or early end of summer, because between end of August and September, the prices tend to drop at the resort. So it could be more affordable for your guests to come. And also it could be more affordable for you to have the wedding because the price of the package might be down more because it's a fall wedding. And also you get more perks. Like if you're doing a group contract, if you're bringing over 20 people, securing 10 rooms, most times the group concessions could be for every 5 room you book, you get 1 free. But if it's before fall, then it's for every 10 rooms you book, you get 1 free. So you might have a better way of gaining free perks or free concessions when you do it later on in the year. And I would say don't pick dates around holidays, because that tends to be a lot more expensive, especially when you're booking air and anytime around a holiday, it's always going to cost more to go to that destination. So definitely think about when you pick your wedding dates, what dates are you going to pick, and can your guests get away during that time? And then be flexible. Do not have one date, have multiple dates, because the thing is, because people are traveling and a lot of people who didn't get married are getting married this year and next year, your date that you want might not be available at the resort that you want. So definitely be flexible, especially find the right resort, but the dates aren't available or the times aren't available, because most wedding can happen between 11, 1, 2, 4, and sunset. And most people want that sunset wedding, and that's only one time slot. So, if you want that perfect wedding, the perfect time, you have to be a little bit flexible. So if it's not available now, maybe it's available the next date you have. So definitely that's something to think about when you're doing your wedding. The next thing I have on here is airfare prices. And it almost goes with the date that it costs more for you to do airfare during the winter and during the holidays, because it just costs more. So if you're planning a wedding, a lot of people want to get married in June, which is not bad either. But in January, February, March, April, those dates and the airfare tends to be a little bit higher, especially if it's around a holiday. So think about that when you're planning your wedding. And because gas price has gone up, airfare is just up, period. So definitely, if you plan a destination wedding, try to give your guests at least 6 to 9 months. I would say a year is perfect, but if you're doing a wedding, it's a short period. Give your guests enough time so they have time to budget, so they can budget to come to your wedding. So, the more time you give them, the better off more guests can show up to your wedding. And as I said before, resort room availability. With more people traveling, there's less rooms available. So, you really have to act now if you want to have a wedding, is to reach out to these resorts that you're interested in having your wedding, making sure that your date that you're looking for is available and that they have enough room available for the amount of guests you think you're going to bring to your wedding. If it's going to be 20 guests, most likely you have good luck in getting rooms. If it's going to be 50 to 70 guests, which is around 25 to 30 rooms, you definitely have to plan that a year in advance, because the hotel have to hold those inventories for you. And the more rooms you want to block, the less likely, if you don't plan early, that those rooms will be available. And one of the key things is to have everyone that's attending your destination wedding to be at the resort that the wedding is, because that can create a lot of headaches, meaning that people have to come from another resort to come to your wedding. They have to pay. If they're not staying at the same resort, they have to pay for a day pass to get onto the resort, and you always have to pay for them also to participate in the wedding. So it ends up costing more for guests if they're not staying on the same property as where the wedding is. And as I said, room cost is higher. It's just going up because of the demand in people traveling now. Room cost is going up. As I said, some of the solutions that you can do in order to make sure you have a successful wedding is to plan early. It's like if you're looking to do a destination wedding, 8 months to a year is a good time frame to plan your wedding. And you're going to notify your guests early so they'll save the date and know you're getting married in DR, in Mexico, in wherever. So they can look at the dates, look at the cost of the resort, and look at the cost of the flight, so they can actually be able to budget to if they want to attend your wedding. And I would say have a realistic budget, because things are going to cost more. So you definitely need to make sure that your budget is going to reflect what the current environment is and the current cost of things are. So definitely when you're budgeting and you're looking at resort, is to reach out to the resort, obtain their wedding packages, and definitely obtain their package, the costs for extras like videography, photography, dance floor, lighting, decor. These are all things that the resort have, and they will give that to you so you can price what it's going to cost to have your wedding. And the last thing I would say is hire a wedding specialist. I'm a destination wedding specialist. I specialize in helping couples plan their wedding. So I understand the process of reaching out to these resorts, securing your wedding date. If you want, getting a group contract, so we'll have a set room set aside for your guests to book. The prices don't change, it's locked in. And also just help you with the destination wedding planning process itself, because I do understand how the destination wedding process works. So I can definitely help you get started and get things done much quicker than if you're doing it on your own. But as I said, it's really up to you how you want to plan your wedding. I'm not going to tell people what to do. And that's me. And I had my destination wedding at Sandals Royal Caribbean. Now it's like 7 years ago. It just it keeps the days just keep going on. So I'm married now 32 years. And if you need help planning your destination wedding, please feel free to reach out to me. If you have any questions on planning your destination wedding, I am available to answer any questions you have. I think what I'm going to do going forward is, I know a couple of people, I've seen a lot of questions on having a legal wedding in Mexico and the documentation that's required, getting that, I would say, certified, because if you're getting married in Mexico, the documents have to be translated and certified in order for you to have a legal wedding. So a lot of people, especially on YouTube, have asked questions like, how do they get their documents certified? But for me, I don't really do that on the side. I rely on the resort to tell the couple what they need, and the resort actually does that for you. By you sending the documents, they'll get all the necessary information that they need to get done. But I know I have to find that out myself, because I'm getting a lot of questions on that. So that's something I definitely have to do a little bit more research on, so I can give couples answer to these questions when they have questions like that. So thank you so much for joining me, and I hope I could share some information with you on planning your wedding. If you want specific, if you have specific questions, or you want me to cover something specific, please reach out to me also. I mean, I have videos on the Facebook group, if you're new to the group, that covers step by step the different things you should be doing when you're planning a destination wedding. So definitely something that you can go back and look at the old videos. If you have specific questions, please send them to me. If you want me to cover a specific topic, do that also. And thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next week.